Hi there, and welcome back to the Knife Nook. Let's see what we've got going on today.
Alright, today I'd like to show you guys a really cool vintage dagger that I have. What makes this made by BLACKJACK High Rangers dagger. What makes this cool is it's a chisel ground dagger and double edge. Kind of different. I keep this beside my nightstand. Actually, I keep it in between my mattress and the bed frame, right beside my bed, so I could just reach down and grab this. Of course, I leave it unsnapped. I don't carry this knife. I keep it on the bed so I could just reach down if I need to, and pull this out in case I have an intruder or someone come in here. It is right here. In case I have someone or something come in the house while I'm sleeping at night. And see how you don't hear nothing. It has this nylon sheath that it comes with. Like I said, I keep it unbuttoned. But here's a little closer look at the knife. Get that High Rangers on it, double serrated, and chisel ground. But yeah, let's get some information on it real quick. Let me put that right there. Well, you should tell us a little something about it.
Okay, so it's a satin finish 440 stainless from Seki, Japan. It's got this nice double guard on it here. It's got a textured, they call it a craton grip.
Okay, craton grip.
Craton, okay,
Yeah,
see.
all right.
And then it's got a blade length of 6 7/8. Your overall length is 12 1/8. So it's a decent sized knife.
I mean, yeah. How much does this weigh?
The weight by itself is 9.5 ounces.
So yeah, and in the sheath, how much does it weigh?
12.5.
12.5. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's pretty light. It really is.
It's actually lighter than I would have thought it to be when you first showed it to me.
Yeah.
I thought when you said, "Here, take this," I was expecting it to be a lot heavier, actually.
That satin finish. And what's cool about this, here, take this camera real quick.
Uh-huh.
All right, if you guys check out here, when I talk about that chisel ground, if you see there, it sits flat right against it. And if you look close here, it actually looks like it might be a convex chisel ground. It has like this little bit of sweep in it. It's really nice, which makes it really, really friggin' sharp. Let me see here with the ricasso right there. Actually, that actually slopes down ever so slightly right there. So if I was going to sharpen this, I'd probably lay it on the stone like that, just nice and flat, and just push back and forth. I think that's what's really cool about these chisel ground knives. Like I said, this one has a little bit of hollow grind in it. Has this thing in the ricasso there. I'm not sure if that's a place where you keep your finger just so you know where the blade's at, but I mean, it's dual edge, so you kind of, I mean, any way you swing this or thrust with it, I mean, you're gonna
hurt something.
Yeah, so I'm wondering what that is, what that's for, if that's for like a bow drill. And I'll show you an example. I mean, you'd have to probably keep it in the sheath if you were gonna use that for a bow drill. Like I said, the Rangers, so that's what, Army?
Yeah, that's
High
the
Rangers.
Army elite group. You know, every armed forces has their elite group. For Navy, it's SEALs.
So this is like super combat-ish. I mean, you would think that if they were going like survival combat, this really doesn't scream survival combat. But
no, it just screams combat to me.
Yeah, definitely combat. I mean, you got that lanyard hole in it. You got that double guard. Look at this texturing. It's like rubber. So, and what I like about this, other than like those old school knives like by Gerber, which has like the double convex grind on it, which makes it's this knife is that knife cut in half. So if you took this knife and you paired it up to that, that's what you have with those old school Gerber daggers. And those ones also made in Japan with all the full metal handle. I think Parker made a couple of them like that. If you guys are familiar with those brands and that style of dagger also, I'm sure you guys seen them. This one has that rubber handle on it, so that's going to help during the weather.
How grippy is it?
It's really grippy. It's going to help in any type of slick situation, whether it's oil, any type of liquid, any type of blood, any type of, slime. I mean, that texturing there.
You're still going to be able to grab onto
it. Oh,
it.
yeah, and then with the stippling and then the swelling and then the checkering, I mean, it looks simple, but if you look close, I mean, this thing it really gives you a really nice secure grip on it. and that wasn't enough. You can always put a lanyard on there. This will keep you protected from weather. It'll keep you protected from those freezing temperatures. It'll keep you protected from, I guess, shock absorption if you're batoning something, with this, or or doing some type of high impact with it. It's gonna take a lot of that impact away.
Or if you accidentally cut through a live wire.
Oh, that too. Yes, thanks. Yeah, if you cut into electricity, yeah, that's most likely it's gonna short it out right there, and you're not gonna get electrocuted. So if you aren't wearing gloves or anything like that, but just like I said, I keep this by the nightstand. Just the fact that I can draw it real slow. There's no noise when you pull out any plastic or anything like that. It's double edged, so the edges are sharp too. It's pretty scary, but I think it's like I got it mainly that I can draw out really slow without anyone hearing it. If someone is up on me or something, without startling them too much or let them know that I'm awake, that kind of like element of surprise. And if someone's gonna fall on me, I just have this underneath the sheets, and they could just use their weight against them and let them fall on that thing.
Ouch.
Yeah, and that's why I keep this by the bed. I don't think I'd ever carry this or anything, even though it is light enough to carry. But still, I mean, just this, you can see the stock on this thing. I mean, it's just wicked.
It's nice and thick.
I mean, you could throw this thing. I'm sure you could throw it. I know with that chisel grind, it kind of makes things a little fragile. See, that tip's a little fragile there, but I mean, you see all the marks on it. I mean, it hasn't done really anything to the edge or the tip. I mean, this thing can take a beating. So, I mean, if it was a double convex grind, I'm sure you could throw it. And this one, I'm sure you could throw it too. I'm pretty good at non-spin throw, just to kind of throw it kind of like a dart, like a no spin throw, basically. I know I could just lob this into
like a spear.
And yeah, like a spear, or like, a real quick no spin throw right into someone's chest from about a foot to 5 feet. Probably it'd be no problem. Here, let's show something a little more similar to it. Here, I got that cold steel. Yeah, when we look at blade length, actually, cut and surface. I mean, that one actually starts right here. So let's see here. About the same there.
About the same amount of cut area.
And then let's see the handle wise. So the cold steel is a little bit longer when it's out like that, but it's still very impressive what you can get here. And I'm aware that this might be a knockoff of a cold steel tie light. Just the design itself alone, it's just wicked. I figured if I was gonna buy a replacement knife for it, because this was a knife I had intentionally from the beginning in my pantry, that I do a lot of my utilities in the pantry and breaking down bottles and cardboard. I use this knife instead. It's a little cheap knife. It's by a company named Duck. Anyway, it's like a 420, and as you see there, how similar that actually looks. So I was like, you know what? Here, can you hold this again?
Yeah.
And I would use this. I beat the crap out of this knife, as you guys can see. I mean, it has that full see-through construction. This is like a $15-$20 knife also, and it's bent side. It has some up and down, and as you see there, that it's folding back. So I said, you know what? It's time for a new beater knife in the pantry, and for $25 with a cold steel kind of like somewhat construction behind it. I said, you know what? I think this is going to be a good option. So that's why I picked this up. I had the intention. I knew I was going to thrash this one around. The first one I had,
and he would never thrash his real cold steel around. Let me tell you, people.
Yeah, the first one I had, I actually ended up giving to my sister.
And he had babied that thing. I think he had maybe cut like one piece of paper with it.
So yeah, yeah. So that's why I got just this knockoff one, just to replace this.
Just to be able to use it.
Yeah, just as a user, as a beater, and it's fun. I haven't used. I keep going back to this one here, but I think it's because for now, just because it's that whole, I don't want to scratch the edge. But anyway, it's like I said, it's a beater. This one has that flipper tab on it. This one doesn't have a flipper tab, but
it has a thumb stud.
Yeah, it has a thumb stud, but still like the assisted opening. It's the knockoff version, the Chinese version, but. It's just a great beater knife, and like I said, if they're gonna copy something, anything cold steel, I mean, you're gonna get some type of good construction behind it.
Some sort of good design.
Yeah, some sort of good design, exactly. Oh yeah, a little update on my the other cold steel I had, my 4-inch tie light here. I had this in my actually been carrying it in my gym shorts and in the front of my waistline, and actually this part here actually has been scratching my skin a little bit. Just no big deal, you know, but it does scratch the inside of your leg if you're going to keep these on your inside your basketball shorts or any type of, you know, where there might your skin might be a little something. That was catching me on the inside of my leg, which I still haven't refined it yet. I need to go ahead and do that. Like the last video I did on it, I didn't mention if it had washers or not. Trying to get it to focus. Yeah, it does have washers. Has just those nylon washers. And then I mentioned if you could sharpen the other side with just a pocket knife, you know, you can sharpen it up to where it sits. So that's about, let's see here, yeah, that's about maybe a ½ inch. You could sharpen that tip. So I mean, if you had to, or if you're doing something and it actually did get sharp, because you know you rub that around any type of material, that edge might pick up a
bit of a slicing.
It might pick up a little bit of edge on it. Here's another example of
That's so cute.
chisel ground knife that I own. This is my other one. Here, you want to hold this camera?
I love that.
This is my little San Remo knife, and it's great for doing little work around the house for scraping and everything. Here's another example of that chisel ground I was telling you about. So you know,
I actually love this little knife of his.
It just rests on this one. Actually goes all the way. It's flat all the way, so really easy to sharpen. You just lay it down like that on the stone and just go to town. You put some water or whatever, and it's super easy to sharpen. I haven't sharpened this one yet. I can't wait to try it, but
he hasn't needed to sharpen it.
yeah, I haven't needed it, and I haven't had to use it on anything or anybody, so that's a plus too. But if they do come in my house, I am prepared. So I just want to share a really cool old school vintage dagger. You know, if anyone carries these kind of knives, I don't know how you would carry it.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little big.
I mean,
because overall it's
a
little over 12, just a little over 12 inches.
Yeah.
When it's in its sheath and everything. So, I mean, where would you guys carry this? In your boot? On your hip?
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee style on your back?
Yeah, on the back. I mean, I could see throwing it like a dart. I mean,
yeah.
I've seen a lot of throwing knives coming out now that are kind of nail shaped like this, and like I said, no spin, just lob it through the air.
Yeah,
but about a 7-inch freaking blade on this thing. So I mean, if you're just perfect size, if you're gonna stab down on something, it's not gonna break your wrist. If you're gonna use that reverse grip, it's not gonna break your wrist. It's gonna go all the way through that material.
And you got that double guard, which is just awesome.
Yeah. That's a lifesaver right there. I mean, we all remember when we stabbed through something. If you haven't yet, you know, you'll remember that day when you stabbed down through something. The first
time you slice through something and you slide your hand or your finger just
usually it's in the kitchen.
Yep.
You know,
on a kitchen knife.
On a kitchen knife because it doesn't have that guard. Doing something you shouldn't be doing. But you know, it gets slippery. You know, with
what you're doing
with materials. Yep. Yeah. So this knife right here, I mean, you could stab the town. I mean, it's a very stabby knife. I'm gonna try to shoot some videos of this, me throwing it and cutting with it outside. Seeing, you know, trying that throw out and seeing if I could stick it into some melons or something. So if you guys are into this type of stuff, I mean, you know, tactical knives, just knives, anything sharp, man.
Hang around.
Yeah, hang around. Check us back out. Hit that thumbs up.
Subscribe and let us know what you think in the comments.
Yeah, we'll take another look in the nook. All right.
Later.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.